External dependencies often create some challenges for the efficient unit test of embedded software, and model-based development with TargetLink is no exception there. My name is Thabo from Oldenburg, Germany, and I'm excited to have my colleague Markus visiting from Berlin.
Yes, thanks Thabo. After many months of virtual meetings, it feels really good to be able to travel again, right? And with the COVID numbers going down here in Germany, and we have the chance to talk a little bit about external code dependencies for software unit test. So why is this a challenge?
Yeah, for a software unit test, I usually want to test one unit, so often one C file. But normally these files, they have dependencies on some other C code or header file because they use data types, variables, or even functions which are defined outside of the unit, right? So how does this work in TargetLink? How do we deal with that?
Well, TargetLink, first of all, provides some powerful mechanism for referencing external files so that they can be automatically taken into account for the software unit test, for the SIL test, right? So we have the add file block where you can point to external C and header files. You have settings in the data dictionary to provide the include paths. So this is relatively easy and efficient.
Okay, but these external headers, they often have also other includes, and we've seen projects where the include chain can really contain dozens of folders, hundreds of files, and things like that. So
right, and I mean, in many cases, if we get to the fifth and to the sixth level of includes, we often end up with files that belong to a target and they're not compilable on the PC for the simulation.
True.
Right? So, and let's look at this from one more perspective, because I also see another challenge here. We usually want to achieve the same behavior on the mill and on the SIL, on the model and on the code simulation, right? And this is not always easy to keep consistent if you have external files with external variables, where obviously you would want to control them to make sure that they take the same value on model and code level, right?
Okay, so is there a better way? So maybe should we try to stop them? Because, I mean, they are not part of the unit that I want to test anyway, right?
Yeah, I fully agree. Stubbing is a great approach here, and this totally makes sense.
So how can I do this in TargetLink?
So when we talk about TargetLink, we can basically achieve this stubbing result with a simple three-step process. First of all, we have to make sure that TargetLink actually generates the implementation for these objects, data types, variables, by getting rid of the external property.
Okay.
Then, if we generate them, we would need to make sure that TargetLink generates them in the proper C and header files with the right name, ideally with the name that also the external file would have in the end, because then the includes are correctly generated. Yeah. So this is something you can control with the modules in the data dictionary. And then last but not least, you don't want these stub files to be part of the production code. So there's a setting called module ownership where you can tell TargetLink that these files belong to someone else, right? And therefore, TargetLink will not consider them as production code. TargetLink will put them in a separate folder to isolate them. Okay,
cool. So we have a clean separation then between the actual production code in the TL project folder that we get and the simulation frame and stub files that TargetLink generates into this TL sim folder. I think we should maybe document this process. What do you think?
Yeah, and funny that you say this, because our colleague Nabil from Paris, he already wrote a blog article with a detailed step-by-step instruction. So please check this out for further details.
Thank you, Nabil. But I guess it's time for lunch now. So thanks for watching. I hope you also found this useful. And please give this a like, follow us on LinkedIn or YouTube for more videos. Thank you.